another brand new edition of T Watches a Scary Movie. My name is T, and of course we are talking scary movies. I appreciate you tuning in for another brand new episode. Remember, new episodes are guaranteed to go up every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. But as I always put up a bunch of extra horror content out throughout the week, the best way to stay on top of everything I'm putting out is to get subscribed to my link tree. And you can do that by going to linktr.ee/T Scary Movie. If you get subscribed to my link tree, that's going to give you access to the YouTube page for the video versions of the show, to your favorite podcasting platforms, the audio only versions of the show, to my Letterboxd page for my written reviews and my movie rankings throughout the year, to my TikTok page for my short horror content including movie news and movie premieres, to my Twitch page, you can catch me gaming anytime I'm playing something scary, and to my Fangoria shop page where you can enjoy my 20% off discount off everything in the Fangoria shop, including a yearly subscription to the physical magazine. So hit that subscribe button, especially if you're watching on YouTube, as the more followers I get, the more content I can put out for all of you throughout the week. And you're definitely going to want to get subscribed because I have so much stuff going on for y'all right now, including our weekly look at season 2 of Interview with the Vampire. This show has been phenomenal. Season 2 has been absolutely amazing. I've been loving to cover it. We only got a handful of episodes left to the end of the season, but AMC just announced that they're moving forward with the third show in the Immortal universe that's going to be based around the Talamasca. So we got some exciting stuff happening over there. And we got our giveaways as well too, which, before I forget, folks, it's time to give this bad boy away. You know, I talked about it a while back that I was going to give away this Stay Puft Marshmallow Man drink holder that was released around the same time as Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and it is time for us to do that. Not only am I giving this away, but I also have a physical copy of Ghostbusters Frozen Empire to give away and a digital copy to give away as well too, folks. I'm gonna give all those away. You tune in, you got a chance to win something here. So let's see who we got here first. So winning a physical copy of Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, gonna get yourself a nice Blu-ray DVD combo pack, is Film Slash. You put down that Winston was your favorite Ghostbusters in the comment section of my Ghostbusters Frozen Empire review, so you are gonna win yourself a physical copy of Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. So I'm gonna reach out to you. We'll get that all handled there so I can get that to you. And mark it down 3665. You have won a digital copy of Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. That's right, it's available there right now. We're gonna get that over to you. I will be reaching out to get that to you. But the grand prize of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man drink holder, this is going to, let me double check, make sure I got the right name here. Isaiah's VDM. You put down that Spangler was your favorite Ghostbuster, and because of that, you were going to get this nice Stay Puft Marshmallow Man drink holder. So I will reach out to you. We will get that handled and get this out to you. And y'all are gonna want to stay tuned because this is not the only giveaway that I'm gonna be doing this summer. We got our best of so far of 2024 coming here in just a couple of weeks, and when that comes up, I think we're gonna go ahead and give away, or at least start the contest for the Tall Man Funko Pop that I picked up recently. So that's what we're gonna be giving away here in the month of July. So stay tuned for that, folks, because that is gonna be coming up. But what are we talking about here tonight, folks? In movie reviews, it is time to discuss Critters 3. Earlier this year, you know, I had some friends who said they wanted me to go and jump into some more old school horror and get around some stuff that I hadn't done on the show before. And we had never talked Critters on the show. So we went through, we looked at Critters 1, we looked at Critters 2, and it's like, okay, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do the whole thing. We're gonna get through this entire series. And so it was time to get around to Critters 3. That is what we are looking at tonight, folks. Now, if you don't recall what happened in Critters 2, bounty hunters Ugg and Lee, now with new human turned bounty hunter Charlie, have returned to the town of Grover's Bend in search of more Krites which have been discovered, which were on their hungry, murderous rampage yet again. And at the end of the film, after Lee's untimely death, Charlie is left to stay on Earth while Ugg, also taking the guise of Charlie, re-enters space to again continue his bounty hunting duties. And the idea was, just by the fact of Critters 2, that if there was going to be another sequel, they'd probably just go with the exact same idea that, hey, there happens to be a critter left or a crate left. There might be some eggs somewhere. So, of course, easy enough for us to get another sequel. And that's really what happened here in Critters 3. First of all, we lose, Scott Grimes is not back as Brad. The Browns are done as far as I can tell with this series, and we're also not set in Grover's Bend anymore either. The franchise is now shifted over into focusing on what seems on Charlie the Bounty Hunter. And what I found so fun about Charlie returning here for Critters 3 was that over the course of the 3 movies thus far, they've been showing us as Charlie has been evolving is not the right word, but getting better at what he does. Because in the first movie, he's just the crackpot of Grover's Bend, going around telling everybody about aliens attacking, and then he ends up being a bit helpful, but then he goes off with the bounty hunter to learn their trade. In the second film, you know, he's dressed up the same way that Ugg and Lee are, in the big trench coat and the bandolier and the belt and the guns and everything, but we can see and tell that he's still not really that much different from his time on Earth. Like, they've been training him, but Charlie keeps getting himself into trouble. So there's this whole idea that Ugg and Lee might leave Charlie on Earth just to keep him out of danger, and so they could really go and complete all the bounties that they're taking on. Well, Charlie is our holdover. Charlie is our connection to the first 2 films, because while Ugg does feature in this movie, it is nowhere near even half the size of the role that Ugg had in the first and second films. So Charlie meets up with a random family in the middle of nowhere where he's out hunting krites, and he tells everybody to be careful, that they could be anywhere, they're murderous, that they're hungry, and he happens to give this family a crystal that'll let them know if there are krites nearby. Now, the family that Charlie ends up helping out, Father Clifford, daughter Annie, and son Johnny, end up, of course, hitching a critter to their RV back to their apartment building high-rise. And the high-rise is really what got me onto this. The fact that we were taking yet another horror film and setting it in an apartment building where the tenants have to basically team up to survive that. And I don't mean to make that sound negative, because it's not at all. It's so interesting when you see horror franchises do this, whether it's Poltergeist, whether it's Evil Dead. We just got Sting not too long ago too, and Infested. Like, apartment building horror is actually one of my favorite subgenres when I really go back and think about it. And honestly, here, for it being Critters, which I think Critters has now shifted from being even like B movie to where we're now very much in the realm of hard direct to video C or D level movies. And there's nothing wrong with that, because there's still a lot of enjoyment, because I actually do like Critters 3, believe it or not. Is it a good movie? No, but I like it, and I know that's how it is with a lot of horror that's out there. And the premise, again, I think is going to work so well for a lot of you, because again, we've seen so many different horror franchises take another entry and they put these characters into an apartment building, and it's like, okay, so all these characters are all these like bad guys, monsters, ghosts, witches, demons, werewolves, vampires, wherever they are, basically. You know, previous film, you were probably somewhere with a little bit more space to work when, not as closed in, not as contained. And so, like, our characters, our protagonists that we're following around, they have a little bit more freedom in terms of what they can do to protect themselves and each other. But when you're trapped in an apartment building in a high rise like this here, there's not all that much that you can actually do, because it's not like you can just jump out a window and be safe and all of a sudden you're out of danger at that point. It's not like anybody can easily just get here and save your life either. You're kind of limited in terms of what your options are if the apartment building is besieged. And so when the krites end up getting in and start multiplying and start taking the tenants out, obviously there's going to be a call to arms to where all the tenants are going to have to figure it out together in order to survive the night. And I think that gives for, again, some very interesting interactions in it for sure. It's a much more closed in space. In the first two Critters movies, our protagonists, again, like I just said, were able to escape a little bit more easily, find a little bit more in terms of weapons and tools to help them defend themselves. They had a lot of options. I talked a lot in my review of Critters 2 about how I really enjoyed the set and the scenery for that, because they almost set it up a bit like a Western in the second half of the film, and I thought that was phenomenal. And Critters 3 takes a different route because, again, everything is claustrophobic, everything is closed in, our characters don't really have a lot of places to turn to. And that's kind of exemplified a little bit more by some of the cast that we get to see in this as well too, including playing, I mean, they have him listed as the lead, and I guess that makes sense, even though his character is not at all the lead of this film. Maybe like second or third overall, I'd say, so still pretty high though. But a relative unknown actor, Leonardo DiCaprio, had a role in this film, and I sure hope that we see that guy, you know, pop up somewhere else these days, because he's been in a few things here and there since Critters 3. He made some, what was that movie about the boat that sank? I think it was The Boat That Went Underwater. That was an all right one. Come on. I did find it kind of funny though, because I knew Leonardo DiCaprio was in Critters 3, but I found it funny that the time that I chose to put it on and actually watch it, once I finished it, by pure coincidence, Django Unchained was on TV, like literally starting up minutes after I finished Critters 3, and I was like, oh, we don't even watch Django in a little while. Let's watch these two. And it's just insane watching where Leo came from to where he is now. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Everybody loves to be in a horror movie to start their career. Everybody loves that. With that though, what I will say here about Critters 3 is that the body count is definitely lower in this one compared to previous films. You know, we didn't get a lot of people getting straight up murdered by the Krites in the previous two films, but not a lot of people actually get killed in this movie. The Critters definitely attack quite a few people, and they're using more of like their the spikes, I forget what they're called, the quills that they shoot out. They're using those a lot more, and they're a lot more humorous this time around. But I will say that the blood factor, the gore here, definitely takes a step down from what we got in the first two films. We still get good practical effects in it, so if you like the puppets, the way the Krites look, still looking just as good in this film as well too. And I think the one thing that we are really missing is the humor of the first two films. Like, I think that that Critters 3 can definitely be corny at times, but this is not corny in the case of oh, that's a bad 90s dad joke. It's just, I don't know, it's written very much like it's supposed to be for kids, and yet it's really not. And that's compounded even more by, again, that family of three. The son Johnny is played by Christian and Joseph Cousins, who you might know as the lead kid from Kindergarten Cop, the one that Arnold Schwarzenegger is trying to save. And it's weird because he has like a bit of a larger role in the beginning and then just kind of really disappears. Like, he pops up for sure, but he doesn't really play that much importance to the rest of the film, which I thought was very, very odd. The movie's very, very much focused on daughter Annie being our lead here and being the one to save everybody from everything that's going on. And of course, like I said, Charlie is there, and Charlie is our expert this time around. There is no there is no lead to save the day this time. Charlie's the one who's got to really do it, and I like the fact that Charlie has been able to move into that kind of role. But in terms of enjoyment compared to Critters 1 and Critters 2, I don't think it hits that same level. Again, I liked it for sure, and I think that anybody who's a fan of this franchise, who's going to give the time to watch this one, they know what they're getting into, and they can expect that not going to be a great film, but you'll still have fun with it. So again, there's enjoyment to be had, but it's not even on the same level as our first and second film. Either way, go and check it out for yourself. Tell me in the comment section what you thought of Critters 3, and also if you think this Leonardo DiCaprio guy is really going to make it in Hollywood. I know it's been a while at this point. This movie came out in '91, so he's had 33 years to do something with it, so I hope he's made a bit of a career for himself. But that's going to do it for us tonight, folks. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, because we're going to be getting back to the After Dark Horror Fest Fest Year 3, and we are also going to jump into the best of 2024 so far, and that's where we're going to open up our prizes for July. So stay tuned for that, folks, but that's it tonight. My name is T. We've been talking scary movies. Stay scared. Boy here is a big fan of Fangoria. So if you want to check out the world's best horror magazine that's out there, get a chance to get yourself your own subscription, which I just got my first one back in 2022, and I don't regret it for a second. But if you want your own Fangoria subscription, or you like the Fangoria merchandise, then head over to the Fangoria shop and use my link if you want to save yourself some money, folks. That's an easy one to remember. Just go to shop.fangoria.com/AXDEW. Again, that's shop.fangoria.com/AXDEW, or use my specific code AXDEW at checkout. You can save 20% off your entire order, and that implies 2 subscription and one-time orders as well. You don't want to miss out, folks, because with the magnitude of horror movies we've had released in the last few years, and with what we have on the horizon, Fangoria is going to be your #1 source for all that great, juicy, bloody information in the world of horror. So again, head to shop.fangoria.com. Hey there, folks! Thanks for tuning in to T Watch This Scary Movie. I appreciate you checking out another review or movie news, whether we're talking movies, TV shows, books, or games, whatever, it's all scary. Remember, you can check out new episodes every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on the YouTube page for video. That's youtube.com/C/Theron Reynolds Scary Movie. Again, youtube.com/C/Theron Reynolds Scary Movie. And you can check out the audio version on all your favorite podcasting platforms. Just search T Watch the Scary Movie or TWASM. Don't forget, my name is T. We've been talking scary movies. Stay scared.